What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Bad versus Evil, the rule of not two. Of course, you know me, John Matrixx, as always. And as always, I'm joined by Rhodes Rants on Star Wars. What's going on, Rhodes?
I'm back. Rhodes Rants on John Matrixx channel. What's going on, John?
Not much. Enjoying this wonderful cloudy afternoon. Well, evening, I should say. A little chilly today. Can't complain. Yeah, it was a little chilly. I know, like the bit time cold is supposed to come next week, so time to crank up the heat again.
It's supposed to get pretty cold here. Like Monday night, I think, supposed to be like 24, 22. Or
yeah.
like
We're supposed to get pretty chilly also on over here, like in the 30s. I know for sure. So it's gonna be quite chilly. So ready to break out the jackets again. So we got 9 thumbs up. It looks like we got 3 people watching right now. We lost a few because it was like 8 people. But hey, that happens. So, but if you're leaving, you're just missing out.
I'm not sure why that happens.
Yeah, it happens though.
You know?
So
also,
whoever's
I don't, did a notification go out?
That's a good question. I don't know. Did you get one?
No, I have not got one yet.
I don't know if it actually tells me if it's live, but anyway, wow, we just jumped up to 10 people just like that. Something happened. Yep. Star Woke Inc. says, "Hey guys, hello, how are you? Thank you for joining." So we got Star Wars news to talk about here, and as always, we'll deviate to something else. Never fails. Never fails.
That's how we get down.
I'm pretty sure we'll probably talk Captain Marvel too, since that's kind of going on. Sebastian Nocturne is here. Evening. How are you, sir? So, I think we got enough people watching right now. And if you're just now joining, make sure you smash the like button. Let's see if that kind of jolts to the YouTube algorithm.
There goes the notification. It just went out.
Oh, you just got one? I don't know why it just doesn't send it out on time. We've been live for like 2 minutes already. Anyway, So Rhodes, the rumor is that George Lucas is coming to help fix Luke in Star Wars Episode 9. And it's just a rumor, no confirmation. I doubt that we'll ever get any official confirmation. But from the way it's going, it seems like that he isn't just, lending a little bit of advice on set, like what he did on Solo, just saying, hey, Han wouldn't do this, he'll do that. This is apparently he is supposed to have already started, helping JJ with Luke, and he's supposed to jump into the reshoots when that happens. So I hope this is true, but I don't know if it's necessarily true. I mean, George, I don't think George ever wanted to leave Star Wars. I think he always had that itch, and I think his feelings were really, really hurt when they basically told him to hit the road and don't come back. So what do you think is going on with this?
Well, I know the rumor's been out there. I first caught wind of it about 3 months ago.
Yeah, Mike Zero?
I think no. It came through one of those like Reddit links or something.
I heard about it from Mike Zero like 3 months ago. He posted like 5 videos before it actually kind of got out. So yeah, I kind of looked at it.
Videos all worded a different way.
Yeah, well, it was like 3. I think it was in November. He brought up George Lucas helping to fix Luke. 3 months ago. This guy must really have a time machine or something.
Oh yeah,
You know, because he always says
he's a
future Star Wars content.
he's a Jedi. He's got
Yeah.
that Jedi mind projection. He can
Yeah. Go ahead.
predict the outcomes in the
What are your
future.
thoughts on this though?
Um, I think there is some truth to it. I do.
I do too.
And I've even thought that, and follow me on this. I think this might actually get revealed officially. And I got to thinking last night after I did a video on it. I was thinking, oh, I know. Actually, I did put it in my video. You know, this at Celebration, they're doing the 20th anniversary of the Phantom Menace.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
I
sure George
would
is going to be there.
assume, yeah, that's right. That's right. And I kind of wonder if maybe depending on what day episode 9 is going to be, I believe it's going to be Friday. Because that trailer is supposed to drop on Friday. I kind of wonder, you know, if JJ's out there, if George is coming out for 9 and they're going to announce that he's involved, we won't, I don't think we'll officially know it until it happens as we're watching it streaming.
Okay.
But I think they'll want this to go public if they can, provided George is okay with it going public. Right.
I would want them to release it to be public because I think if they officially come out and say George Lucas is involved in this project, I definitely think more people will actually show up. Like hardcore fans that kind of were alienated by The Last Jedi. I think
Right.
those fans will go and see Star Wars Episode 9. So it's definitely in
It
Disney and Lucasfilm's best interest to say that George Lucas has helped a lot with this movie.
Agreed. Agreed. It's a win. I mean, you know, even if there's a hard boycott, you're going to have a percentage of people that falls out of the boycott back to the theater just because George is involved.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Rondo's in the house too, by the way.
What's going on, Ron? Yeah, because
I think there's do.
Yeah, I've just felt so bad for George. I mean, the way Disney has treated him, it was just so horrible. I mean, they didn't give him any respect at all once they wrote the check to him, and he wasn't involved with anything. You know, just shows up. You know, kind of like the old uncle that comes over, you know, and gives candy to the kids, and that's pretty much what he's done to this point. But the man had story treatments laid out for 7, 8, and 9. He had a sequel trilogy ready to go. We know that him and Michael Arndt were working on the script. And Disney just says, nope, we don't want to use any of this stuff. Let's just throw it out. Now, technically, Rey is based off of Kira, who was the main, I don't know, she's the main character. She was a female character with Luke on his island. So that's about the only thing they took away from his story treatments. And then we got what we got with The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. And we all know that George has not been a fan of either one of those movies, even though he hasn't said, I hate these movies. You know that he hates those. Well, The Force Awakens, he actually basically said he didn't like it, you know, because he was like picking apart certain things like, I don't like doing retro movies and stuff like that, you know. So,
Right. Right.
So I felt bad for George, you know,
Well,
and there.
yeah. I think it's in their best interest to have him involved. I've kind of thought that he might get involved in terms of not only Luke, but in Vader and in the Emperor.
Yeah.
I still think the Emperor is going to be in this movie. I do. What his involvement's going to be, I don't know. I
Yeah,
still
that's the
think it's going to
thing.
have something to do with Rey. I really do.
That's the thing. How would you really implement him into this movie? I guess if she's a descendant of Palpatine, I guess that'll be the only way. But let's just say that she's not um a Palpatine. Then what's the point of the Emperor really being in the movie?
I've heard that this quote unquote MacGuffin that they're chasing in this movie is something that may involve something that the emperor has created or something like that. Um, whether it's a weapon, I don't know what they're going to be after. And I've heard the MacGuffin actually evolves over the course of the movie, so I don't know what that means either. Um, like in other words, they find what they think is going to be whatever they're supposed to have, and then I don't know. I don't know if some powers unleashed or something that causes them to have to further pursue something else.
Yeah.
But that's all rumor type stuff. But it's rumor that has been backed by good grief. I bet you I've seen like 10 different sources on that. So when you've got that much fire, especially from people that are verified in the industry, that's in the movie.
Yeah.
You can bet it's in the movie.
And well, 10 different sources plus one, Mike Zero.
Right. Well, Mike.
Yeah. And we got some more people here. We have D Pensac is here. D Carey is here. Rob just joined. Everything Star Wars just joined. And Star Woking says, don't think George can save episode 9. I don't know if George is really brought in necessarily to save episode 9, but really to make Luke again, I guess. I don't know how do you think he can actually pull that off? Because we have to remember, Luke did quit. That did happen. He did try to murder his nephew. That did happen. And he didn't want to help anybody at all.
Right.
He wanted to just die. So how can George rectify that?
The one thing, did you watch any of Jedi Council yesterday? Did you get a chance to see any of it?
I'm kind of been out on Jedi Council. It just hadn't been the same in a while.
Right. Well, I was watching it, and Harloff was talking about they've begun the show, and one of the things they talked about was JJ's little interview that he did last week or whatever with ET. It was like a little snippet interview as he was walking into some premiere. And you remember JJ came out and said that he wasn't going to alter episode 9 because of The Last Jedi.
Right. But what else was he supposed to say?
I watched that interview, and I'm here to tell you, I know a lot of YouTubers interpreted that as, well, JJ said he's not doing anything, blah, blah, blah. And if you would have seen JJ's face, you could tell the mention of The Last Jedi. It was like somebody sent a shockwave of pain down his back. It was like he just walked into a room of fresh farts. I mean, he literally was just like, it was almost like a sting in his eyes. And so Harloff was saying yesterday, he said, I can tell you, I know for a fact that JJ is playing studio politician right now.
Oh, exactly. I believe that 100%.
Yeah. And so what I think's happened here is I believe that when JJ come back, because again, JJ didn't want to direct episode 9.
No.
So when The Last Jedi came out,
he didn't really want to do The Force Awakens at first.
Yeah. And JJ decided to come back because he wanted to finish the story that he was setting up that never got done. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think part of this whole deal was, and regardless of how you feel about The Force Awakens and how anybody feels about it, do I believe that JJ is an original trilogy Star Wars fan? Yes, I do. I think he reached out to George. That's my gut feeling on it. I'm like, I think he reached out to him, and listen, if those pictures of, you remember the pictures of Mark Hamill after he shot a scene in The Last Jedi, where Mark Hamill was weeping. Do you remember that? Did you see that behind the scenes
Oh
thing?
yeah.
Okay. And Ryan Johnson was kind of bent over and he was sort of talking to him. But part of that whole thing was Hamill being upset with what was going on with his character.
Right.
And I think a guy that is an original trilogy fan like J.J. Abrams saw something like that and said, you know what? I'm going to reach out to George Lucas and I'm going to get him involved and we're going to see, you know, what we can try to do for this character now.
You're right.
And get George involved. So let's see. Star Woke said bad story group putting people in that aren't Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
I agree with that, but you can't tell me for a second JJ's not a Star Wars fan. He's our age. He's our age. He grew up idolizing Spielberg, which is like, you know, him and Lucas are like attached at the hip. And in fact, one of the reasons he initially turned down The Force Awakens is because he was scared to do Star Wars.
Yes.
You do know that, right?
Following in George Lucas' footsteps, that's not the easiest thing to do.
No, he was scared to do it. He said, I was terrified to come in and do that movie. He was like, you know, because he was like, I love the originals. I didn't want to, you know, and depending on who you are, you either like the movie or you didn't like it. But you definitely can see nods towards the original trilogy all over the movie, you know. So I don't know, man. I think George is involved. I do. And I think Celebration's a perfect time for them to come out with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think he needs to be involved. He absolutely needed to be involved in this movie. I mean, you know me, I didn't really like The Force Awakens. They should have really listened to George. The Force Awakens, if it had George's, you know, twists and input in it, you know, because to me, The Force Awakens got bad to me once the Force with Rey came into play. And then with that, I mean, it was okay movie up until that point. But once she started getting using the Force and everything, that's where it didn't have George's. You knew George Lucas was missing right there, because there's no way in the world George Lucas would have her using, you know, the Jedi mind trick and all this stuff. Because we just watched Luke, the second movie in, he was struggling to move rocks, you know, and
Right.
it just didn't make any sense. I think Rey could have been such a much better character if George Lucas had an input on it.
You always got to remember too, JJ had an influence on him the first time around that he doesn't have this time around.
Yeah.
In other words, he's not operating under directives to make these new characters remember, not overshadow the original. What was it? Don't let the original characters overshadow the new characters, right?
Right.
I mean, it was obvious they were trying to push this girl into being like the most powerful thing ever.
Right.
And Kathleen Kennedy, you know, there you go.
Right. And I just don't. I know the whole girl power thing, that was a huge thing, because if you listen to Kathleen Kennedy, that's all she was talking about, you know, initially. And it seems like she didn't know anything about the movies themselves. She didn't know anything about the characters. You know, she was always talking
like
about.
She didn't pay attention, you know.
No, she didn't. She really, really didn't. That just kind of, you know, bothered me and rubbed me the wrong way, you know, that she doesn't know or care to know anything about the characters, the stories, that kind of thing. It was always, you know, she was putting in her take on it. And Kathleen Kennedy, we all know, this is why I don't get, why was Kathleen Kennedy actually allowed to greenlight any creative ideas. She's not a creator. She's never created anything. She's a producer. She's a behind the
She
scenes
should have
person.
stuck. Yeah, she should have stuck to, um, the politician on the outside sort of thing, and stayed out of the creative way of anybody involved.
Right, exactly.
Um,
It doesn't make any sense
and
for her to be a part of that.
and then of course you have look at the people she hired.
Yes. She has very, very poor taste in hiring people. Like JJ, I don't necessarily think that JJ was a bad hire because I think what JJ is good at, you know, reviving stuff. And if anything,
Right.
The Force Awakens did revive Star Wars. But in a way, pretty much anybody coming in would have revived Star Wars if it's the first movie in 13 years, 11 years.
Right.
I think at that point, 12 years. I mean, I could have directed it and nobody would know who I was, and people were going to show up to the theater. And I'm not even a filmmaker,
Well, I can tell you this on a side note. Disney is, um, from what I just read yesterday, is falling behind in the JJ sweepstakes.
Oh, to bring him on.
To the everybody's after him right now.
Right.
Warner Brothers is stepping up, and guess what they're talking about him. We're talking about him, relaunching franchises.
Yeah.
You know what they're talking about him relaunching right now. Think about what Warner Brothers prized possession is.
The
That there's a
DC,
lot of controversy, huh?
the DC comics.
Superman.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Superman.
Yeah.
Now I was just about to ask you, do you think JJ could pull off that?
Oh, I do, but like D. Carey and the thing said, time to make a break from Bad Robot, and I'm like, turn it all over to Bad Robot. I mean, Lucasfilm is your problem there.
Yeah, I mean DC.
In my opinion,
Yeah, DC doesn't need JJ to fix the DC. I mean, look at James Wan made an outstanding Aquaman movie. Patty Jenkins made an outstanding Wonder Woman movie. So they don't need him per se, because my fear is if he actually goes into the DC universe, the first thing that's going to come out of everybody's mouth, oh, he's going to remake Christopher Reeve's Superman.
Oh yeah, I firmly believe he'll do a nod directly at Christopher Reeve. You and Donner, yeah, you can guarantee that.
Yeah, and that's not something
because that's what he grew up with, right?
Right. That's my fear.
That would be my guess. I would rather see him come in and put sort of a Spielberg swing to it.
Yeah.
look at it in terms of something that he could put together that Spielberg might have done, which we know that's JJ's biggest influence.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why I like JJ's movie so much. Spielberg is my favorite director.
Yeah.
So, and it's not even close for a second. I mean, I can't even, Tarantino kind of, sticks out for me, but he makes different kind of movies than these, large, event picture type deals. He always makes really story driven movies.
I wonder if Spielberg would ever consider making a Star Wars movie. I mean, I doubt it. I don't think he would ever touch. I think he has too much respect for George.
He said that's the one franchise that he won't ever touch, because Kennedy approached him first. Did you know that?
Well, I wouldn't blame her for approaching him.
Yeah, that was like the first person evidently she called, and Steven said, no, you call J.J. Abrams.
I tell you this.
That's who you want to call.
I tell you this. If Spielberg was hired on as a director and they came out and they threw out George Lucas's scripts, I think he would have quit. I think he has that much respect for George Lucas to where if they treated him like that, there's no way in the world that he would have made episode 7, 8, 9 if they treated George the way they eventually they did, you know. Also,
Right.
you know, he did
Right.
say there's no way he's supposed to make the next Indiana Jones movie, but he said that there's no way he would make it an Indiana Jones movie without George. So I don't know if George is even going to be involved in the next Indiana Jones movie, especially, you know, with John Caston, you know, is supposed to be writing the script,
God.
you know, which makes me just cringe so bad.
Oh,
So I don't know what's going on with that.
okay, that raises a question. That's a segue. At some point, you realize they're going to pass that Indiana Jones baton. Who would you give that to?
I mean, are they even really going to make it? Because look,
Well,
everything they have lined up.
They want Indiana Jones to be like Bond. That character is going to end up getting played by somebody else besides Harrison Ford. That's going to happen.
That's going to be tough.
So the question is,
I wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean well, dude, they talked about for the next film. In fact, when Harrison Ford got interviewed going into some function a while back, the lady asked, "Is it going to be you or is it going to be Chris Pratt?" And he said, "Far as I know, it's still me." And that's all he said, or something to that effect. So I don't know, you know.
Man, something I can't imagine anybody else playing Indiana Jones. I really just don't see that happening. That's just that's going to be a tough sell.
Trying to pull off. Yeah, the problem is trying to pull off characters that Harrison Ford played.
Yes, because you already saw the mistake with Solo. You know, Alden Ehrenreich, he ain't no Harrison Ford. I'm not saying he was bad in the role.
No.
He's just saying Harrison Ford. And I think that's the problem with Indiana Jones.
Right. I kind of gave the kid a pass because he was supposed to be playing not Harrison, but Han, 10 years or whatever it was, 12 years before A New Hope. But you're talking about if they get like Chris Pratt or somebody, they got to drop him into like real-time Indiana Jones adventures, from the same time period that Harrison would have been, dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Because he would be about Harrison Ford's age that Harrison first took the role, about 40 or 42 years old. So I don't know. That's tough, man. It's one of them properties that's going to get a new actor in it, and I got a feeling the world's going to explode whenever that happens. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh man, that's going to be really, really. That'd be so tough to pull off, But I mean, they may even one day make, we may see one day in the future. Let's say, 20 years from now, both us being in our 60s, they'll probably make some untold story of Han, Luke, and Leia with brand new actors. Now that you can probably get away with something like that once all three, let's say like Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill, they're just way too old, or maybe they're already dead, and you want to tell another story about them, then yeah, you probably can get away with something like that. But when you still have Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill still around, and you try to recast them, I don't think that's going to fly with fans. And especially right now, because you got de-aging technology, like Mace Windu.
Right.
I mean, Samuel Jackson wants to play Mace Windu. He's ready. You can make Mace Windu 28 years old with de-aging technology. And Samuel Jackson can pull that off.
Right. So
I
know it's gonna be tough. It is It is going to be tough because I guarantee you, when Disney bought that property, there is no way. And I can tell you, as somebody that's worked in the corporate world, one of the things you're going to do is you're going to have a meeting or multiple meetings about trying to figure out how can we take whatever is our most valuable properties, Han, Luke, and Leia, and how do we keep using those characters? And
Right.
for us, we would handle that a lot better if we were all 70 already, like you said a minute ago.
Yeah.
You
Because the
know, if
younger
they tried to
generation
reboot,
wouldn't know any better.
that's right. That's right. And you know, I made a video on that a long time ago, like 6 months ago, about them rebooting A New Hope. And you know, I said it's not when, it's if they will do that. From a corporate perspective, they almost have to. But they've got to time that out where we're sort of like, nah, you know, where we're old enough where, you know, yeah, we'll go see it, but we're going to be too old to get that lid over it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's going to happen. There's no way that's going to happen. They've got to have those characters because that is their 3 most valuable characters. And you will eventually get somebody that takes over Lucasfilm that understands that. They're going to be like, why aren't we making any money? Well, because you don't have Han, Luke, and Leia out there doing stuff, you know?
Right.
So there's just no way. For corporately, they got to do that at some point. They just can't do it 3 years from now because that shit's not going to fly with any of us.
No.
You know?
No, we'll see right through it.
Yeah.
Like I would love to see like a Luke Skywalker movie. You know, just a straight Luke Skywalker spin-off movie about what he does after Return of the Jedi. Get Mark Hamill to do it. I would love to see that. You know, just like I would love to see like a young Mace Windu movie. A young Mace Windu movie would be amazing. You know, you can get let's say like you get the Luke movie going 3 years after Return of the Jedi. And you can bring in Ewan McGregor to play an Obi-Wan Kenobi Force Ghost because I definitely think we're going to see Ewan McGregor in Star Wars Episode 9. And I think he's going to be a young Force Ghost. Because Anakin is also going to be in this movie. I think they're both going to be young Force Ghosts. And so Luke also, I think, because Mark Hamill didn't have his beard anymore. So that tells me that he's probably going to be de-aged too, maybe as a Force Ghost. I don't know. What do you think of that?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think you can, I still think JJ's going to try to pull off that Anakin Vader Force Ghost, the hybrid.
I don't want to see that.
You know,
because I think it's inconsistent.
It is. I think he believes it's going to be visually stunning, and it probably will be.
It'd be visually stunning, but it doesn't make any sense because Anakin is already at peace. You know,
right?
He's in another world of Force.
Right.
He's already achieved a power greater than any Jedi. So why is he struggling with the dark side?
So how is this going to go? What if he's visited? What if Kylo is visited by Vader and Anakin at 2 separate times?
That makes no sense because Vader and Anakin are the same person. They're the exact same person. It wasn't like Vader was this completely different entity.
Right.
Vader was Anakin. So you can't have 2 separate Force ghosts.
God, they're gonna. I can tell you right.
I mean, they will screw up this movie if that happens.
Yeah,
you know,
they're gonna do that because they're gonna think that's gonna look.
I'm almost thinking. I'm almost thinking that probably could happen because if you look at the Force Awakens, you know, Kylo Ren is sitting there just kind of like praying to his grandfather. You know, show me the power of the dark side. It's almost like he's been talking to him before. And if he actually really talks to Vader in Star Wars Episode 9, that would ruin the movie because that shouldn't have happened. I mean, they're gonna split Anakin and Vader into two different people. That's inconsistent with what Star Wars is. Anakin is Vader, same
Right.
person, and he
Right.
became one with the Force as Anakin. He destroyed the Sith.
They're they're going to try to pull some certain point of view action on the audience.
I mean, if they want to go certain point of view, Kylo Ren could just be deranged hearing voices in his head, in the voice of Vader,
Right.
but that
Right.
still isn't
Right.
Vader. Vader is no more. He's done. So I don't get that.
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree. I agree. I think
I wasn't
I think
really.
you're going to see an incarnation of. I still think you will. There is no way if there's truly not an episode 10 and this is an episode 9 and it literally is going to end it all. There's no way we don't see Vader and Anakin in this movie. I think you're going to see both. I really do.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to recreate, a lightsaber battle from the past. We've heard maybe, the Revenge of the Sith battle. Kylo Ren witnesses it or something. So, but I never was a big fan of, like when Rey touched the lightsaber, she started having all these visions just from touching the lightsaber.
Right.
That's kind of risky to me because, touching the lightsaber shouldn't give you these visions, the lightsaber calling to her. The lightsaber doesn't call to anybody. It's just a weapon, you know? It doesn't call anybody. I mean, Han Solo used the lightsaber. Finn used the lightsaber, you know?
Right.
So that's another
I
problem that
guess
I had with that.
they don't have no girl power, yo.
They got enough girl power in these movies, man. Oh God, they got Rose
uh,
Tico.
right. Star Woke Incorporated Nico says Anthony N. Gruber looks like a young Harrison.
Who is that?
You have seen that guy, right?
Let me see here.
That actor
Anthony
N. Gruber.
M. Gruber.
Yeah.
Gruber.
D. Carey says they're going to sell Galaxy Quest without the original OT characters.
I'm sorry.
6 months before they peddled them.
Say Anthony Gruber.
Anthony N. Gruber.
N. Gruber. Okay, N.
Yeah, N. Gruber. Yeah.
I thought you said M.
Oh, M.
Oh, N. Gruber. Oh, N. Gruber. N. Gruber. Okay.
N. Gruber. Yeah.
And he looks like who?
A young Harrison Ford.
A
lot of people were pissed that he didn't get.
He doesn't look like Harrison Ford to me.
That he didn't get cast as Han.
He
looks
nothing like Harrison Ford.
In fact, there is a movie that they're both in. You know what? Oh yeah, they're okay. There's a scene of them two together under Google Images.
Yeah, they don't look alike.
Man, see, I don't think they looked that kind of when they were younger, like much younger. I could kind of see it, but now that Ingruber's gotten older, I don't know that I see that either now.
Yeah, for one thing, looking at it, one thing I think is like his cheekbone structure is way different. I mean, one picture, I mean, he almost looks like Cillian Murphy. What's the name?
Cillian Murphy from the Dark Knight
yeah,
trilogy.
Yeah. It kind of looks like him in a way. But I just don't see Harrison Ford.
They were in Adeline together, the movie Adeline. He played a young version of Harrison Ford in that movie.
Okay, I don't think I've seen
or whatever character Harrison was playing. He was a younger version of it. Age of
Ah,
Adeline. Yeah.
yeah, I didn't see that movie. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure you've seen it. You probably seen every Harrison Ford movie there is, huh?
No. There are a few I have not seen. I have not seen Blade Runner 2049.
I didn't see the first
I
Blade
did.
Runner.
You haven't?
No, I haven't.
Mm-hmm.
I know I need to see it. I heard it's good.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll probably get killed for that, but it's okay.
I think the only actor who I've seen every movie for is probably Arnold Schwarzenegger. I think I've seen every single movie that he's been in, but that's probably about it.
I remember
And
Blade
Stallone.
Runner. Blade Runner came out when I was 5, and I remember it seeming like it was too slow. I mean, it looked cool, and I've tried to watch it a few times since then over the, last 40 years, but 2049 looks more interesting to me, I think. I have not seen Ender's Game. Is that the name of it?
Yeah, I haven't seen that either.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. And there's a couple of other movies that he's in I haven't seen. Man, I ought to watch Ender's Game this weekend.
Yeah, but it's amazing though. Harrison Ford is very, very unique. Age doesn't seem to stop him because usually a lot of actors, as they get older, they get more unpopular, and that's not the case with him. I mean, plus he keeps himself in relatively good shape too. And
Oh
I think
yeah,
he's like,
he runs 5 miles a day still.
yeah, he's like what 75 years old. And in the Force Awakens,
Yeah.
man, he was old, but man, he was still Han. He can get away with, Kasu Leech.
Oh yeah.
Nice to see you. That was Han Solo right there.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
I mean, that was Han Solo.
Yeah. I told you, man. That, as far as I'm concerned, that's a Han Solo movie. Everybody else is just living in it.
Yeah, but that movie, maybe because Carrie Fisher hadn't acted in a long time, she was a little off as Princess Leia, and of course Luke, we really didn't get to see anything from him. And in The Last Jedi, he was completely different, from Luke. He was complete Jake in that movie.
Right.
But Han Solo, he still had those Han Solo moments, him and Chewie. Oh, you think you're cold? That's just Han Solo.
D Penzick asked, Rhodes, have you seen Mosquito Coast? Yes, I have.
That's another Harrison Ford movie?
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, I saw it in the theater. My parents took me to see it. I remember I enjoyed it more than they did. They were pretty pissed that there wasn't no rolling boulders in it or anything. It's a different kind of flick. I can tell you that. It's not your typical Harrison Ford movie.
Harrison Ford, I think one of my movies I really, really like, Air Force One. I love Air Force One, man. And of course, great. And why do I slip up with names? What's the guy's name?
I love The Fugitive.
The Fugitive is good, but I think Air Force One.
Plus, I like Tommy Lee Jones too. So,
okay, yeah. Actually, you know what? I actually may like the sequel with Wesley Snipes even better.
U.S. Marshals.
Yes, U.S. Marshals is really good.
I liked it. I didn't like it better, but I liked it. It was very good. Yeah, you're right. It was very good. Tommy
but I'm more, but I'm a Harrison Ford fan, but I'm a bigger Wesley Snipes fan.
Yeah.
I mean, his action movies.
I like Wesley.
His action movies are better than a Harrison Ford, because I don't really consider Harrison Ford an action star. You know,
I put Harrison in a different category than I put
they're two different.
like Wes. Like Harrison to me is like, um, I don't know. I mean, I could see Harrison being cast in some kind of super, super, super dramatic role, you know.
Yeah,
And Wesley to me, unfortunately, is sort of just an action dude, you
yeah, he's a
know.
strictly action dude. I mean, he's a
Yeah, kind of like Chuck Norris, you know.
yeah, he's a martial
Um,
artist though.
right, right. Um,
Gary Oldman,
so
that's his
like
name. That's who I was thinking of. Gary Oldman in Air Force One. That
is
movie was
Gary
so good.
Gary Oldman's a bad guy in that movie, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah, he
No?
plays. Yeah, he's a
Yeah,
bad guy.
yeah,
He plays
yeah.
was it Russian? No, no, it's not Russians. Some country I don't remember.
That's a good freaking movie. I'm glad you said
That's
that.
a
It's on my
really
road
good
too.
movie, man.
Gonna have,
That's a
I'm gonna have
really
to
good
watch it
movie.
again. And let's see what other movies. Witness is good.
Yeah, Witness. I love Witness. That's a good movie.
Yeah. I
Of
liked
course, Indiana Jones. Of course.
both of those. What was it? Patriot Games and Clear and Present Danger. I like
Yeah,
those.
I love those. I watched those probably about 5 months ago or so.
But I will tell you this, and this will surprise you, considering that's a Jack Ryan trilogy. I like The Hunt for the Red October best of those three,
Hmm.
even though that wasn't Harrison.
I
And
like
actually, I think that's considered the best of the three movies too by most people, because Sean Connery was in the first one. See,
yeah,
you know, um, man, I don't
Sean
know.
Connery. Yeah, Sean Connery's really good.
Mary Jade
There's
in the house.
what's up, Mary Jade? Yeah, let's see here.
Hey, did you bring your top 20 movies of all time with you yet?
Man, I, I would have to make a list. I can just give you some that's in my
You,
ballpark.
you got to bring
So,
a list. I didn't give my list twice.
and I always say that Star Wars episode 1 through 6, that's kind of like one movie to me.
Yeah.
So, but so I'm not going to consider those as like individual movies because I just don't want to pick. Star Wars as a whole is my favorite. So that's by itself. But
Well, you got to
so
do like I did. You gotta have a group of like 40, and then you got to start weeding them out.
okay,
Like if I'm on an island and I've got a Blu-ray player and
okay.
I can only take
Let
20
let me
Blu-rays with me.
then let me say this then. Ye- Return of the Jedi, Revenge of the Sith, Empire, A New Hope. Those are 4 movies right there. Those 4 are definitely in my top 20. Okay.
Right. You're probably gonna leave Attack of the Clones and
Yeah,
Phantom
that's
Menace
not.
at home.
And I like those, but they're not top 20 movies.
Right. Right.
So Terminator 2
Yep.
and love Terminator 1 also. Shawshank Redemption is really, really
Okay.
good. Um, Amadeus. Love that movie. I'm a musician. That's a great movie. Godfather 2, Godfather 1. So that's 10 movies right there. Um, let's see. And these Indiana Jones movies have to be in there. I think all 3 of
Yeah.
those have to be in there. So that's 13 right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Um, uh, I really like Titanic. Titanic has to be in there. I don't know where, but it has to be somewhere around there. That
You're
movie had a
killing me with
really
you know what? I'm gonna say it.
James Cameron is great, man.
Force Awakens. You hear me? Titanic
What?
is your Force Awakens.
Nah.
I feel the same way about Titanic as you do the Force Awakens.
I mean, but I got to say
I
this:
it,
when I walked out of
that
Titanic,
movie, I hate that movie. I hate it
oh,
with a passion
and
unknown to me.
Marjay says F. Murray Abraham was incredible in Amadeus. Yes, he was. And I'm a musician. I know music history like the back of my hand because I studied music and composition when I was in college. So I know the life story of Mozart like the back of my hand. And that movie was completely inaccurate, but that's another story. But what were you saying, Rhodes?
I said Titanic. I said I hate Titanic like you hate The Force Awakens.
Okay.
I hated that movie.
I don't know where I would put Avatar. I don't think I would put Avatar in my
she couldn't get his ass up there and save him. That drives me nuts.
I don't know where I would put Avatar. I'm thinking that it would probably be in there, but I don't know what. I was at
Titanic. I rooted for the iceberg.
I know what I was gonna say. Titanic. I've never felt such an emotional impact leaving a movie theater.
What?
That movie just had all these emotions running out of you when the first time you walked out of a movie theater. You know? It really, really did. I mean, James Cameron may be the best filmmaker ever. That movie had that kind of an impact. So
okay.
Anyway, Titanic. What else? I'm a bit Schwarzenegger fan. True Lies may be in there. I know I'm leaving some stuff out.
I guess Rob likes some Titanic.
Yeah, RJ said in Cameron's Titanic, I rooted for the iceberg.
yeah, agreed. Me and RJ.
But you know what though?
I was rooting for Billy Zane to kill them all.
What thing with Titanic is, you knew that the ship was gonna sink, but yet he had to make a complete story around that because we knew the end game, going into it.
But yet I only wanted it to sink 2 hours and 42 minutes earlier. Oh man, I still have nightmares. God.
Top 20. Let's see here.
Let's see. Darth Slagle says
Predator.
Forrest Gump. God, Predator. I left Forrest Gump off my list.
Oh, I love Forrest Gump. Predator is in there. Commando is in there.
Die Hard off my list. Jesus.
Die Hard's not in there. Christmas Story is in.
I haven't seen Die Hard.
A Christmas Story has to be in the top 20. That's my favorite Christmas movie of all time. That has to be in there.
John Matrixx has not seen Die Hard.
Okay, so. God. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie to you?
Yes.
Okay.
I watch it every Christmas Eve.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it this Christmas.
Christmas Vacation and then Die Hard.
I like Christmas Vacation. Not in the top 20 though. Just only A Christmas Story is only one in the top 20.
I'm kicking somebody out of my top 20 right now, right here on the show.
Who is that?
Breaking news. I'm gonna kick somebody out because Die Hard's going in. If I'm on an island, Die Hard's got to go with me because if I'm on an island, there's going to be Christmas at some point. So I've got to be able to watch. I got to be able to watch Die Hard. God, John McClane, dude. Jeez.
Did you have the Godfather movies in your top 20? I don't think you did.
No. I don't appreciate them as much as everybody else. Yeah, I do like them, and I like gangster movies. I've got Casino and Goodfellas on here, but I don't have the Godfather movies.
And Godfather 2, man. I love Godfather 2 more than 1. Godfather 2 is just deep, man. Just really, really deep.
I like 2 best too.
And when he has to whack his brother at the end of the movie, I'm like, man, that is just crazy. And believe it or not, I don't hate Godfather 3, but it's not even in the same class as Godfather 1 and 2.
Oh no, it's not even close.
No, it's just not.
It's not even close.
Mara J says, "Yo, shoot your eye out." Ho ho
ho! You know what?
Ooh, that's a good one, man. Joe K470 says Star Trek II: Wrath of Khan. That's probably got to go in the top 20, man.
That's going in your top.
That's the best Star Trek movie ever.
Yeah, it is, but I don't like Star Trek movies, so I'll be all right.
Now Rob says everything.
Um,
Rob says Caddyshack, Naked Gun, Ghostbusters, Back to the Future. Now, if one would actually make it into the top 20, it would be Back to the Future.
yeah,
But
agreed. And I like the Naked Gun, but it ain't going
yeah,
in
I
my
like
top
Naked Gun
20.
too, but it's not top 20. I don't have any comedy movies in my top 20. And Darth Slagle,
Uh,
The Last Samurai, I was thinking that The Last Samurai is great. Absolutely great. You have to see The Last Samurai. That
you
is
know,
a
I
great
like
Tom Cruise movie.
that's a really good movie. I did not realize, the critics killed that movie.
The Last Samurai?
Yeah, it's considered a terrible
I
movie,
don't know
and I love
how.
it.
That
That's
movie
one
is
of my
so
favorite movies.
great, man.
Yeah,
It is so great.
yeah,
I mean, you got Tom Cruise, you have Hans Zimmer's music in that movie, Ken
yeah.
Watanabe. How is that movie is great, man. But
Oh
the
my god.
credits are I never like critics reviewing movies anyway. I don't think you gotta be a critic to actually say that a movie is good. So,
I just realized I've got another movie that didn't make my honorable mention, and I'm kind of embarrassed about it. Um, or my top 20. How about Gladiator with Russell Crowe?
ooh, that's really good.
God, I can't believe that.
Silence of the Lambs, that's
Oh,
in my top 20. So I think I'm around 18 now.
that's in my top 40,
And I really
maybe.
like Red Dragon. I actually told you this. Red Dragon and Hannibal are both way better books than Silence of the Lambs. And I really like both movies. Um,
I got to be honest with you. I enjoyed both those movies more than I did Silence of the Lambs. And
hmm,
that's considering Silence is, in fact, I'd say all three of those movies, if I had a top 40, all three would make my top 40.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm with you. What about Hannibal Rising? Did you see that one?
That's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's
I
not
went
that
to the
good.
theater to see that, and I
The
thought I
only
lost
good
a
part is they had Gong Li in the movie, and Gong Li is a very, very good actress.
yeah,
I'm a fan
it
of
was
her movies.
awful. RoboCop,
Okay,
no.
Darth Slagle is about to get banned from this channel.
I saw it. I saw
Brokeback Mountain.
I saw it.
Come on,
I
man.
saw it. I
Oh,
saw
but
it.
but you like this one. Joe K470 says Halloween.
Yep, it's in my top 20. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not in my
Really?
top 20, but it is in no, it's in my honorable mentions.
Okay.
So it made the top. Let me see what I got here. I guess I ought to number these, but these are all kind of in a pool, these honorables.
Oh,
Let's see,
oh, I got
21,
Conan the
22.
Barbarian. Conan the Barbarian's in, so I think I got one more spot. Conan the Barbarian's in there.
Okay, so Halloween technically made my top 32, but in no particular order. So technically, it could be 21 out of top 20.
Darth
Uh,
Slagle, I've never seen Brokeback Mountain, so I can't tell you if
I
it's
heard it
terrible or
was a
not.
great movie. I've talked to a lot of people that I never thought in a million years would say it was a great movie, and they said it was a great movie. So I
Oh,
don't know.
I can tell you another great movie. I don't know if it's necessarily top 20, but I absolutely enjoy this movie. Full Metal Jacket. Stanley
Yeah,
Kubrick.
yeah, that's a good flick.
That is
I
a
like it.
great movie.
I like Platoon too.
Yeah.
You know,
Especially with me being in the military, the first, 20, 30 minutes of that movie with Gunnery Sergeant Hartman, it's just great, man. That boot camp scene is amazing.
I- if I'm going war movies, it's a toss up between Apocalypse Now or Saving Private Ryan.
Okay, war movies. That's a good one right there.
Oh no, no, no! That's a lie. That's a lie. I can tell you, I got a clear cut war movie. We Were Soldiers.
I seen that.
Mel Gibson. I love that movie. I've seen it like 50 times.
This isn't
Um,
necessarily a war movie, but it is historic. Lincoln was good.
I have not seen that, and
With
that's a
Daniel Day
Spielberg.
Lewis, it was
Yeah.
good. It was good. But war movies, let's talk about that.
R-
What are some
Rob,
really good
no,
war
Magic Mike
movies?
is not a Rhodes favorite. Magic Mike is not a Rhodes favorite.
Are men even supposed to watch that movie?
No. Joe K. The Dark Knight is my number 2 movie of. Wait, is it my number? Yeah, The Dark Knight is my number 2 movie of all time on my list.
War movie American Sniper was really good.
Oh God, Black Hawk Down. Yeah, that's a good one.
Black
too.
Hawk Down is good. So I'm a military guy, so it's kind of hard.
Heartbreak Ridge. Yeah, it's good. And I'm a Clint guy. But I can't say it would break my top 5 favorite war flicks.
I think my favorite military movie is A Few Good Men. I know it's not like it's not it's a really good movie, and man, Jack Nicholson is great in that movie. You know, Demi Moore, Tom Cruise. Man, Tom Cruise has a lot of really good movies.
I'm going to tell you two movies that a lot of people sleep on. The General's Daughter. Have you ever seen that with John Travolta? That's a Tony Scott.
No, movie. I didn't see that.
Yeah. That's a good movie. And Basic with Samuel L. Jackson. That's a good flick.
I think I've seen it once, but I don't remember it.
I can't remember. I know Sam Jackson. I think was John Travolta in Basic too? And that I think is a John McTiernan movie. That the guy that directed Predator.
And I did say Predator was in my top 20.
Oh, hey, you were talking about Die Hard.
I got like 4 Arnold movies in my top 20.
Dude, the guy that directed Predator directed Die Hard.
Oh, who directed Predator?
Yeah. John McTiernan.
Oh.
A badass director before he got like sent up for tax evasion.
Oh. Trying to think. I need one more movie, guys. One more movie to be in this top 20. I'll tell you one movie that I really did like, and it'll never be in the top 20. Oh, I know one that's definitely my top 20. This movie came out in 1992 or 1991. It stars Benjamin Bratt, Jesse Borrego, and Damian Chapa. Blood In, Blood Out. If you have never seen that movie to me, that's in my top 10. That is a great movie. It never won an Oscar. I don't think it was ever going to win an Oscar. But that movie is so good. It's about, that movie is about family and everything. It's about two brothers, and they have their half white, half Mexican cousin, and he's always trying to get in and fit in, but yet he's not fully Chicano, and yet he's not fully white either. And he's trying to follow his cousins and everything. He ends up in prison. He ends up becoming the leader of this prison gang. That movie is real, man. That movie is real.
I've seen this. I'm looking at the cover for it right now.
That movie is awesome.
Man, I've seen this cover a million times, and I've never watched it.
Tell me, have you seen American Me?
American what?
American Me with Emma James. Yeah. If you've seen that, this movie's way better.
My jam is Menace to Society.
I love Menace to Society, but Menace to Society is good. But as far as like the best like street movie or like gang movie, nothing touches Blood In, Blood Out. I mean, it's that good.
I'm about to shock Darth Slagle. He says, "What about The Exorcist or the first Friday the 13th?" Okay, I'm not sure if he knows.
I love The Exorcist.
I ran a horror website for like a decade. The first Friday the 13th is not even my favorite Friday the 13th movie.
No, it's really not.
It's not even in my top 5 favorite Friday the 13th.
Final Chapter is probably the best one. That's part 3, right?
I got Jason Lives as my favorite, but the final chapter is like 1A. And the final chapter is probably overall a better movie. Yeah, I would say. It just far as like overall quality, the final chapter is probably the best movie. But I didn't enjoy it as much as Jason Lives. The Exorcist, I know I'm supposed to love that movie, but I don't.
I love The Exorcist. That's the best.
It's good, but I'm like, it made my top maybe 150. Oh, The 13th Warrior. Please tell me you've seen that. That's a John McTiernan movie, too.
I can't
Yeah, with
recall.
Antonio Banderas.
Oh, I've seen it. But
yeah, that's a good flick.
Man, I think I
I've
only
seen
seen it once, so I don't really remember it.
times.
Oh, Interview with the Vampire. That's in my top 20.
Okay.
That's the last one. Interview with the Vampire is in my top 20.
So you've actually got them? You've got them? We know you know what they are now.
Yeah, if I can recall them all.
Oh, you didn't write them down?
No, I didn't write them down, man. I'm in my office. I don't have a. I think Interview with the Vampire is in the top 20. I'm a huge Anne Rice fan. I've read all of her vampire books, all the witches books, and that movie in 1994 was a vampire movie like we had never seen before. You know, Brad Pitt was so great as Louis in that movie. And Tandy Newton was in that too. I think people forget about that. She was in that movie. Tom Cruise, Antonio Banderas. They were the main ones. But bring up
Mary Jane, The Exorcist is good. It's just not one of my favorites.
Yeah, but going back to Blood In, Blood Out, if you haven't seen it, I mean, Billy Bob Thornton is in that movie. He plays he's a part of this Aryan gang in prison. Tom Tolbert, you probably don't know who he is, but he's in it. Delroy Lindo is in it.
Oh yeah, Delroy.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, Delroy Lindo is in it. Victor Rivers is in it. You know, he played he was also in The Mask of Zorro with Antonio Banderas. He played his brother.
Oh.
He plays this character called Magic Mike. He's a part of this prison gang. He's part of La Onda in Blood In, Blood Out. So that's quite a few stars in that movie, but it never had the big impact like in the movie theater. But that movie is considered one of the all-time best made movies ever. So definitely check it out.
Always did like Delroy Lindo.
Oh, Darth Slagle says American History X. Man. Man, that's got to be in the top 20. If not, it's right outside. If not, it's right outside.
Top 20.
If not, it's right outside. Man, American History X is so great. Now, I'm going to say Blood In, Blood Out is better.
I'm not taking American History X on the island, though. I'm just not.
I would say this.
It's good, but I'm not taking it with me.
I would say this. American History X is, in a way, is kind of like the white supremacist version of Blood In, Blood Out. Because Blood In, Blood Out is more from the Chicano perspective. But they're different in a way, but both of them have prison stories in it. So, but they're two different movies. But I love American History X. American History X is really good. Wizard of Oz. Nah. Oh man, I got some other movies. The Ten Commandments and Ben-Hur. Oh, some movie has to get out, man. Ben-Hur is one of the top movies of all time to me. Something has to get kicked out. Charlton Heston. Something has to get kicked out.
That's Dog Sidious's favorite movie, I think.
Ben-Hur, something has to get kicked out of the top 20 for me. I may have to kick out. I don't want to. I may have to kick out Titanic.
Oh, thank God.
I may have to kick that one out. But man, it's so close though.
Anything to get the Titanic out.
Man, Rob put Scarface in there. Oh my God, Scarface. I didn't even think of that. Now he has me really, really thinking. Scarface is so good, man.
This is the time of Tony Montana.
Scarface is so good.
Oh God, that's the funniest song ever. I
Something gotta
watch
go,
that
man.
like once a month just to get a laugh.
Hey, Rote, something gotta go, man.
Darth Slagle, you are correct. Tuskegee Airmen is a great movie. That is a great movie.
And he said, if I'm not mistaken, George paid for it out of his pocket. Actually, George made his own version of it. He made Red Tails. I like Red Tails. That was pretty good. Yes, Grease.
Oh, Grease. Yes, God. If it was a top 40, Grease would make it for me. For sure.
And it's so hard to put movies in a list. Like, I don't know where to put Infinity War, and that was really good. Oh my God. I can't believe I didn't put one Rocky movie in there. Rocky 4. Rocky 4 has to, man, this is how hard these lists are.
Yeah.
Rocky 4 is my favorite Rocky movie. Something else got to go, man. Rocky movie has to be in there.
Rocky 4 is 10 and Rocky is 15 on my list.
And I actually like Rocky 2 better than Rocky 1. Then Rocky 3. Oh my God, this is hard. Because I love Rocky 1 through 4 easily. And Rocky Balboa was really good too. Creed 1, Creed 2 were really good. Man, it's tough.
Rob said he's going to have to do a top 20.
Man, can we do like a top 50?
Right. Darth Slagle said Rocky 2.
Yeah. I think actually Rocky 2 actually won. Didn't it win? It won Best Picture, didn't it?
Grease was a huge deal in our family growing up.
I never saw Grease.
Said, I got like Grease. Wow.
Yeah. Because Grease is a musical, right?
Everybody. Oh yeah, man. I remember.
I'm not into musicals.
We used to watch that stuff and just sing, and that was a big deal. It wasn't like Star Wars big deal, but it was a pretty big deal. See, I don't like Singing in the Rain. I don't like A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum. I really don't like musicals, if you want to know the truth. Just pretty much Grease. Spaceballs. Oh, Darth Slagle with the sledgehammer out of nowhere on both of us. The original Red Dawn.
Red Dawn.
Remember Red Dawn, the original Red Dawn? Patrick Swayze, Charlie Sheen, the Russians. Yeah, I saw that in the theater as a kid. Spider-Man. If I had a top 40, Spider-Man 2 would make it, but not Spider-Man. We're talking Sam Raimi's, not.
Yeah. I like those. I like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans better than all of the other Spider-Mans.
Agreed.
I thought Spider-Man Homecoming was okay.
It wasn't a bad flip.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Dark Knight. The Dark Knight is definitely in the top 20.
Yeah, it was number 2.
Dark Knight Dark Knight is in top 5. That's in top 5. See, I should write all this down, but I wasn't. Dark Knight is in top 5. It's so great.
Number 2.
It is just insanely great.
Is that my only Nolan movie? Yep, it is. Huh.
Oh,
Batman Begins made my honorable mentions though.
No. This movie has to be in the top 10. Now that you mentioned it, Christopher Nolan, Interstellar. That's probably in the top 10.
I can leave that out.
Oh, Interstellar was so great.
I liked it, but
I love that movie. See, but I'm also, everybody knows now that I'm a musician and everything. I love astrophysics. And they were pretty much right on point with the way time and space works. Because they actually brought in the famous physicist, I can't remember his name, to actually show, how time and space work together. So it's not like Back to the Future. They based this movie on real science. That movie was great.
Hey,
It's in the top.
I want to make everybody mad in the chat. Rob said Harry Potter
Rob, you're gonna be banned.
overrated. There it is. Boom.
Yes, it
Overrated.
is. Yes, it is.
Overrated.
It is way overrated.
Rob said Lord of the Rings, Pirates of the Caribbean, also overrated.
I like
Or
Lord of the
Pirates,
Rings.
Lord of the Rings is all right. Never Ending Story, that is a good one.
Oh, I love Never Ending Story.
Yeah.
Not the sequel. Matrix. Man, that's got to be in the top 22. My God. You guys are killing me, man.
Now 52 movies long. 52 movies.
But at least I got Commando in there. John Matrixx, Commando.
Gremlins. Yeah, I love Gremlins. I do. It'd be in my top 40. Let's see. Man, this list of mine started big, and I really had to pare it down big time.
No, I'm pretty good at this. I was actually finishing the tags and everything on my video, my thumbnail, while I'm actually doing this show at the same time. I didn't miss a beat.
That's pretty good.
I just finished it.
The Princess Bride. Ooh, God, I love that movie.
Very, very good movie, man. Extremely good movie.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever met anybody that didn't like that movie. I think everybody likes that movie.
Probably my wife.
She doesn't like she doesn't like the movie?
No, she doesn't like anything like that.
What?
No,
The Princess Bride is an all-timer, man.
You can figure most of the stuff that pop culturally people are really, really into. She does not understand the fascination with pop culture stuff at all. She doesn't get it. She does not get it at all. She's like, I don't understand all these people and their love for these movies and blah. And she just ain't drawn to stuff like that, really.
Wow.
She likes some movies, but she just ain't, her favorite movie is The Notebook.
Okay.
Have you seen that? The Notebook?
No.
That's a bunch of women's favorite movies.
Oh man, I gotta have a Bruce Lee movie in this. Man. Man, Bruce Lee. I gotta have Bruce Lee movie.
I think everybody following along in the chat is also trying to put. Mary J said, "I'm gonna have a top 100 at this rate."
Way of the Dragon is my favorite Bruce Lee movie. That has to be.
This subject keeps coming up. This subject keeps coming up because it's good fodder. I mean, it's just good because you get the brainstorming and everybody kind of gets to join in. Man,
guys,
Rob says aliens. Definitely aliens. Yeah.
Guys, are you Bruce Lee fans? Let me know in the chat if you like Bruce Lee. And what's your favorite Bruce Lee movie? For me, it's Way of the Dragon. And I know these movies have different names from the English names, but Way of the Dragon was the Cantonese name of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Since I only watch them in Cantonese. Frank Dukes is a fraud, but Bloodsport was a great film. Yes, Bloodsport was great. Really, really. Jeet Kune Do. Yes. The Way of the Intercepting Fist.
I like Bloodsport.
Darth Slagle.
Probably somewhere in like the top 100, though.
Yeah, I can go with that.
I would say. Enter the Dragon would probably be.
Yeah, Enter Dragon was really good, man. But his Hong Kong movies, I mean, Way of the Dragon was really good. And I love Enter Dragon. Enter Dragon is what made Bruce Lee an international star. But before that, he made Way of the Dragon and all that. He was big in Hong Kong and Asia. America got to really know him from Enter the Dragon after he died.
Right. Aliens, of course. Rob throws aliens out there.
Yeah, so we got
Harry and the Hendersons.
that's not a top 20 movie.
It's not even a. I know there's people that love that movie. I'm like, I saw that. I saw that previously. It was called Han and Chewie. Okay.
And you know what? You know what I think is a good movie, and it's funny. It'll never be in like a top 20, probably not top 100 movie. It was Brewster's Millions with Richard Pryor. I love that
Hey,
movie.
that's an underrated flick.
That is a good movie, man. It is
Yeah,
it is so good.
No, Rob, you're right. Aliens would definitely make my top 40. Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, and John Candy was in Brewster's Millions. I think that movie's so good.
In fact, Aliens is going to go into my honorable mentions list. Wow, I got some good movies, man. If I got just stuck and had nothing but honorable mentions, I'd be watching some good flicks.
What about Willow? George Lucas movie.
I'm not doing it.
You didn't like Willow?
It's okay.
I was a kid. I
know
really
everybody
liked Willow
found
as a
it to
kid.
be magical, but I was like, yeah.
I think they're
Yeah.
going to be. I think they're planning. Lucasfilm is planning to make a sequel to that. And I
Yep.
think Val Kilmer
what
is
I
going to
heard.
be on board to come back as a Matt Mordigan, and Willow Offgood is going to be back. I think that's the only ones that I can think of. You know.
Wasn't Val Kilmer in that?
Yeah, he played Matt Mordigan.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
So is Val coming back?
That's what I've heard. I heard he's coming back.
I know he's going to be in Top Gun.
Yeah. Dude's almost 60 years old, man. He's going to still be in the Navy. A pilot at that. Well, Tom Cruise, but Tom Cruise looks way younger, though. Tom Cruise looks like he still looks like he's like late 30s, early 40s. The guy takes care of himself. Oh, Rob, Trading Places. That is my second favorite Christmas movie. And I love Coming to America. And get ready for Coming to America 2. That's coming out.
Yep.
Eddie Murphy or Arsenio Hall coming back. That actually, Coming to America may actually be my favorite comedy. I mean, Eddie Murphy was the king of comedy in the 80s.
On a quick side note of Disney news, there is going to be an annual shareholders meeting next, I think a week from today. I don't know what's going to come out of that, but sometimes stuff gets announced.
Yeah. So that brings me to this. Where would you have Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2? I think that may have to make my top 20. You don't like Beverly Hills Cop?
No, I do, but they're not going to make my top 80. They're not going to make my top 100.
Yeah, Marjay says, did you?
You want to know what my two favorite Eddie Murphy movies are?
What?
48 Hours and Another 48 Hours.
Nah, I got to take I got to take the Beverly Hills Cop movies over him. And I like 48 Hours.
I'm a big Nick Nolte fan, so that's gonna I can get in 2 for the price of 1 with him and Eddie. So
yeah. Oh man. David Pitts joins in. Just gotta love when Mike Zero makes a video and it gets spread by Express. Now it's everywhere. Damn, it makes Mike Zero stop with the lies. You know that, but in Mike Zero's defense, he made that George Lucas video, one of them, like 3 months ago. So that's nothing new, you know. But like we said, we do think there's some truth to George helping out. I mean, if they're smart, they would listen to George. So, but we're running out of time here, Rhodes. Time flies when you're having fun, man.
For sure, yeah, man. You get cranked up on favorite movies, you know, everybody gets to participate.
Yeah.
For sure. I enjoy the favorite movies thing. And you've now got 57 movies in your top 20, by the way.
Did you write them down?
No, you've just named off about 70 movies. That's got to go in my top 20.
It's tough, man. It's tough.
Oh,
it's really, really tough.
Rob's right. Jaws. Oh,
but
my
one
gosh.
thing, I got a lot of George Lucas movies in there, and I got a lot of James Cameron movies in there.
And Jaws 2. So that's going in my honorable mentions. God, I love Jaws.
Yeah.
I can't believe that's not my top.
See, but to me, Lucas and James Cameron, that's the two best filmmakers of all time. And they have so many classic movies.
You know what? I'm going to have to boot somebody else out of my top 20.
See, there you go again now. To put Forrest Gump in there?
I don't think I can leave Forrest Gump out, man.
I think Forrest Gump is kind of on the border for me.
No, I love Forrest Gump.
Me too. Is that the best Tom Hanks movie? I really love Big. Big is really good. I love Big. Captain Phillips was good. Apollo 13. I can't put Forrest Gump over Apollo 13.
I can't.
But it's close. It's close.
I can, but I love Apollo 13.
But I like space movies, man.
All right.
And Apollo 13 was... Huh?
Forrest Gump just kicked Casino out. And Casino's moving back into honorable mentions.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And Apollo 13 is going in honorable mentions.
Okay.
So, yeah, I've almost got a top 40 list now, except it's in no particular order.
Yeah.
The honorable mentions are in particular order. That's messed up. I think Rob's the only one that held on with us.
And Rob, I do love Police Academy. I really, really do.
Yeah. I like Police Academy 3 for some reason.
I haven't lost track of them, man. There's like 50 million of them. I lost count on them. I like the ones with Steve Guttenberg. Put it like that. And Bubba Smith.
Police Academy 3, what is it? Back in Training, I think.
Yeah.
Tackleberry.
Eugene Tackleberry.
Eugene Tackleberry. Yep. That shit's gold, man.
Yeah. Are they remaking it or they're making a sequel? I think they're making another Police Academy movie and Steve Guttenberg is going to be in it. And Michael Winslow. Michael Winslow is amazing.
Police Academy movie. Well, they actually got set. Huh.
Yeah. Well, okay, guys, we're about to wrap this show up. And as soon as this show is over, I'm going to release my videos. So make sure you guys go out and support me by watching this video. So hopefully you get a notification. It's a Captain Marvel video. So make sure you go ahead and check it out. Because my first video of the day did not do so good. Didn't get picked up by YouTube. So help me out here. Help me out a lot, guys, if you go and watch it. So Rhodes, any final thoughts?
I've got one dropping right after his comes out.
Well, good. If you can release it like 10, 15 minutes afterwards.
Awful Raylo music video that's out there all of a sudden.
All right, guys. We're going to get out of here. You folks have a wonderful, wonderful night. And we will catch you on the next video. We're out.